my name is Nathaniel Groves. I was at YFT from 2018 until 2020.
How do you feel when you come back here? Because this place I know meant a lot to you. When you drive on campus, what kind of emotions do you get?
Grateful, happy, excited. They were a big part of my life.
Tell us a little bit about your story. Where'd you grow up and what brought you to YFT in the first place?
I was living with my parents in Front Royal, Virginia at the time. I was homeschooled up until around 9th and 10th grade. And then in 10th grade, I went into public school and I fell in with the wrong crowd. I started hanging out with other people, started doing drugs, started committing crimes, started hanging out basically with what we would call hooligans. And I let them lead my path. I let them lead where I went, my decisions, and it ended me up in juvie for 8.5 months. When I got out of juvie, my probation officer gave me a ultimatum. She said either you can take the rest of your time, which was 3 years, or go to a placement. At the time, it was either Timber Ridge placement or this one, and one of my families, William A. Hazel, I know their family personally, they paid for me to have my first school here. And all that, my parents said, this will be probably the best place for you at the time. So this is where I ended up.
What was your first reaction when they told you that this was going to be the best place for you and you got here? When did you know that it was, and was that quick or did it take you a while?
No, it took me about a year. A year of mess ups, getting SIRs, BRs, running away, fights, just all around not wanting to be here, just straight defiance.
When did the light go on that, hey, this is going to help me somehow?
I actually sat down with Dr. Tinsley about a year through, and he sat me down and he was like, Nate, we need to have a serious discussion. And he was like, what are your goals in life? Why are you here? And why are you still doing the same things that you did? Figured out it was all just in defiance to my parents. I didn't want to follow rules. I didn't want to do this. I wanted to act like a kid who I wasn't. And he kind of set me on the same path and was like, you need to wake up. This is your life you're messing with now.
Speak on Bill Hazel. He was one of the founders of this location, along with Joe Gibbs and some other, folks who contributed a lot, not only money, but also a lot of time. And you had a personal connection to the family.
So his grandson, actually, Andrew Hazel, I know his grandson very well. We went to school together. We grew up together. I know his son. With that, when I grew up with them and the family, they knew my story. They knew what I was going through. They were very close with my parents. And when they told him that I was possibly going to Youth for Tomorrow, he was more than happy. And he was like, well, I know y'all don't have the money, so here. And he paid for my entire first year here in cash, right off the bat.
You're grateful, huh?
I am. I still haven't gotten to thank him in person yet.
Well, Mr. Hazel is no longer with us, but the family is still very, very much involved in Youth for Tomorrow. And when you look back, what would have happened to you if you hadn't come here, you think? Do you ever think about that?
I had a suicide attempt here, so I would either, one, not be here, or two, I would be in jail. I know that for a fact.
So you probably look back on this place as being very, very helpful to really saving your life.
Put my head on straight.
What did you think about as you left? Did you feel like, I'm going out of here and I'm going to, go attack the world? And but did you kind of long to maybe feel so good to you? Did you want to stay here for a while?
Yeah, it felt safe. It was a safe place here. I knew the staff members. I knew all the people here. I felt comfortable with them, especially Mr. Spades. He became like a second father to me. So I felt comfortable here, but I also knew that the moment I left, I was going to be prepared for the new world. I was going to be prepared to do what I had to do, because when I left here, I graduated and I turned 18 with less than a month. So as soon as I left here, I was thrown into the real world right off the bat, and they helped me.
I was going to ask you, who are some of the folks you mentioned? Dr. Tinsley, and now you mentioned Mr. Spade. He's still doing his thing here. He's helping a lot of people. How did he help you?
He was there for me whenever I needed him. He was my house parent at the time. He was always there in the house. He used to, before, like, when I would get in trouble in SIRs, before I would really get anything, he would talk to me and calm me down. Sometimes he'd grab a van and we'd drive around campus, and he'd just sit, and we'd sit and talk for hours. He'd pull me into the office and he'd talk to me. He was there for me when I got a job. He pushed for me to get a job. He pushed for me to accomplish my goals, graduate high school, do my homework, all of that. He was more like a leader figure in my life who I can look up to for a lot.
Do you think that you can play that forward somewhere down the road and help other people because of what you learned while being here? Because now you're out of here, you're in the real world, you're getting things done. But do you think that your unique position might allow you to help other people?
I think so, yeah. With the stuff that they've taught me and the stuff that I've learned here, along with everybody else who's helped me, I feel like if I ever came across a kid or someone who had the same circumstances as me, or was going down the same wrong path, I feel like I'd be able to help a little bit.
Joe Gibbs and the founders founded this on godly principles. What did that mean to you when you were here?
When I first came here, I was growing up in a Christian home, but religion was kind of forced down my throat. So I didn't really believe in anything. Here I was able to develop my own faith and my own relationship with God. They didn't force me, they didn't pry me, they let me discover it on my own. And I think that helped a lot because now I can actually say I've grown closer and my faith has grown a lot stronger since being here.
You were here fairly recently. There have been other alums we've talked to who were here when none of this was here, the chapel wasn't here, and you've seen some growth here, and you've seen other people being helped here. What kind of pride do you have in this location?
What kind of what?
Pride.
A lot. A lot. I think that what they do is good. I'd recommend this 10 out of 10 offer up to anybody. I don't care who you are, I don't care what story you have, they can help you.